you come outside with your play, having some knowledge of the prison system, and what you do with that knowledge is you educate the public about the prison they couldn't see, the prison Hollywood never showed them. And so you take your cage with your ex-convict cast and you go all over the United States, to the schools, to the regional theaters, to Broadway, off-Broadway. And then finally, you say, well, Europe's next. And so you go to Europe and you meet a dead end because you can't write anymore. So you find yourself in Scotland and worried about how you're going to exist, how you're going to live. You've got 10 actors sitting here on a tour, then off the tour. Now what, boss? So I couldn't write anymore. I couldn't get anything out. And I said, back to Beckett, because we had done Beckett at the prison. And the one play that I had directed very successfully there was called Endgame, which turned out to be Sam Beckett's favorite play. Me to play. We're getting on. You weep and weep for nothing, so as not to laugh, and little by little you begin to grieve. All those I might have helped, saved. Place was crawling with them. Use your head, can't you? Use your head. You're on Earth. There's no cure for that. I wrote to Mr. Beckett, asked his permission to, again, do the cycle of his plays, because we had done Godot, Endgame, and Kraft's Last Tape while at the prison. In fact, we had done 7 productions of that trilogy. So he knew of our work. Martin Esslin had spoke to him about it. Professor Blau had spoke to him about it. He was entourage with the plot. So he came back to me with a letter and said, you can do any of my plays anytime, royalty-free. Please keep me posted on the notices. He was always keen to know what was going on. So we undertook Endgame. It was a big success at the Edinburgh Festival, 1974. And the phone rang from Germany immediately. Bring it to Berlin. So we brought the production to Berlin. I ran into somebody from the United States Information Agency, the USIA. And they said, well, we'd like to do this. Why don't you take this to our branch office in Paris? You know, we have a 400-seat theater there. Whilst there, one show and gone. Beckett's wife turned up. His niece turned up. But he didn't show. After the play, they all came backstage and said that they would tell Sam. Next day, we're striking the set. Everybody's saying their goodbyes. It's the 18th of December, or 19th of December. People are going back to the United States. People are going back to Scotland. People are going to Puerto Rico. Everybody's breaking up. And the phone rings, and it's Beckett. And he said, I've heard good things about the production. Would you, I'd like to meet you for a coffee. He gave me an address. I went to the address, and I tried to translate this cafe's name. Three maggots? What the hell was that? You know? So pretty soon I'm dressed up in all my finery, of course, and I kind of catch some movement out of the corner of my eye. And here's this very thin, gaunt, ghost-like figure, you know, coming down the walk, and he stopped and leaned against the building and looked at me, because I was wearing a bowler hat, like a la Godot. And so he said, you always wear that hat? So that was our introduction. And but this is after a year and a half of correspondence now. So we have some coffee. And it turns out that he is going to direct Waiting for Godot. He'd been consulting on Godot's for years, so he knew something about the play. But he said, I'd like to end all the confusion surrounding my play.